almost 20 years of experience, he's been helping entrepreneurs grow their businesses through online marketing. He's running Catapult Marketing, a digital agency in Florida, USA, bringing his sense of competition to his clients' businesses. In his spare time, he works on his YouTube channel, where he shares valuable digital marketing tips with marketers from all over the world. Among his clients are the Women's Success Summit, Unilever, and Office Depot. Ladies and gentlemen, Antoine Dupont.
Hello, Romania. You guys are beautiful. You really are. When Avi called me and he says, you got to come and speak to Romania, I was, Romania? I didn't know what to make of it. And I thought maybe I was going to see something like that. And then I arrived last night from Miami, and right across the street there was a party, and this is how it looked like. I was like, yeah, Romania, I like you. Like tons of people, like shoulder to shoulder. Awesome. Really, really impressed with Romania. This is really a beautiful country. So I'm originally from Paris, France. Ooh la la. And I met an American last night in the hotel. And he says, I just went to Paris. They were rude. I was like, why do French people hate Americans? I'm like, that's not true. We don't hate Americans. We hate everybody. We feel the same about the English, if it's, Italian, same thing. All right, my first boss was Gordon Ramsay. So if you plan on insulting me after the show, you better bring your A game, because I've heard everything. And now I live in Miami. And I'm telling you, last night what I saw was like, man, South Beach has got nothing on you. You know how to party. All right, so let me bring you to, we're going to go all the way back to 1892. And let me introduce you to Julia Tuttle. Julia Tuttle arrived in South Florida and bought 640 acres of land. Now, 640 acres of land, that's a square mile, or for all the guys here, it's 137 football fields. Right? It's a lot of land. And she had a problem. And the problem was that the train stopped in West Palm Beach, just 60 miles north of where she was. And this guy, Henry Flagler, brought the train all the way down from New York, and he stopped in West Palm Beach. As far as he was concerned, there was nothing south of West Palm Beach other than mosquitoes, alligators, and swamp. No interest. So she reached out to him and offered him half her land, half. She said, I'll give you half, bring the train, and that's the deal. And he said, no. Not interested. Not interested at all. And what happened after is fate stepped in with an event called the Great Freeze. And the Great Freeze wiped all the citrus north of West Palm Beach. What Henry Flagler realized was that it can freeze just north of West Palm Beach. It doesn't freeze in Miami. And Julia Tuttle did something absolutely amazing. She sent him a basket of oranges with a note, hashtag, how do you like me now? And that is what made Henry Flagler decide to bring the train all the way down to Miami. And Miami is the only city incorporated by a woman in America because of a basket of oranges in 1896. So why am I telling you this? I don't know. It's a great story, right? Now, the reason why I'm telling you that is because really what she applied, which is the big idea here today, is what's in it for me? See, she assumed that Henry Flagler would be interested about having, 320 acres of land. And that's the mistake that we do on Facebook. We assume that that's what people want. But what we have to figure out is what is their basket of oranges? What's in it for them? What are they interested in? So that's the big idea, and that's really what this presentation is about. So let's dive in Facebook marketing, and let's talk about the context, because I think it's really important. A lot of people miss the context of Facebook. So let's talk about the business model, the Zuckerberg business model, which is really the business of attention. That's what it's about. It's not about posts, it's not about sharing, it's really a business of attention. They're in the business of grabbing our collective attention. And we are spending currently in America, and I don't know how it is in Romania, but looking at all the cell phone here, I'm assuming it's the exact same thing. We're spending 54% of our time on a mobile, on social. And it's not stopping. It's going to get worse. And when I talk about this to business owners, to guys like me, old, white dudes, bald, they always complain. They're like, look at us, people are not social anymore. They don't talk to one another. They're always on their phone like this all the time. And that's what they do. They go in a restaurant, they go in the train, and this is how they are. And I'm like, really? Really? Because I'm old enough, I remember I was in the train. I didn't talk to you, you didn't talk to me. What happened is we just got smarter with our devices. Now we have one device that has 60 million newspapers in it, right? So the other context that you need to know is there's no intent to buy on Facebook. There's nobody that wakes up in the morning and said, you know what, I want to buy something, let me go to Facebook and figure out what can I buy. That's not what they're going Facebook with. So it's always the point when people will say, well, I want to use Facebook to grow my company, and it says we're going to put an ad or commercial. That's the worst thing you can do. There's no intent to buy. Raise your hand if you go to Facebook to buy something. There's always one. Don't raise your hand. Don't raise your hand, trust me. It's not the part where you say yes. Come on, one courageous person. Nobody. You see, nobody goes on Facebook to buy something, except this young lady here. The second thing is organic is dead. I mean, it's literally dead. Right now, we're seeing in the US about 1 to 3% organic reach, and it's really going towards the 1%. It's just there is no organic reach whatsoever. You just put a post, it better be pretty good. The next thing is really what Facebook is about likes, shares, and comments. That's what it is about. That's your game as a marketer. Your game is, how am I getting some of that? Especially comments. And Facebook will promote what we collectively like. So in essence, you have a platform that will promote your content, as long as people like it. And the more comments, the better. Facebook actually came out in social media marketing world in San Diego earlier this year and literally said the most important thing in our platforms is comments. Actually, they said engagement, but engagement is comments. So comments, the more comments, the better. And Facebook algorithm, because a lot of people are trying to figure out Facebook algorithm, well, their algorithm is designed to hide boring stuff. That's not the icon for stuff, by the way. But Avi told me I can curse twice, so I don't want to use it there. I don't know if I'm going to use it, but I don't want to use it here. So Facebook algorithm is designed to hide boring stuff. They want you and I to have a good experience when we go on Facebook, right? Because if you don't have a good experience, and if they show you the boring stuff, you're not going to come back. You're going to go to Snapchat, you're going to go to LinkedIn, you're going to go Instagram, or they own it anyway, but you know what I mean, right? They want you to come back. So that's their job. Their job is to hide boring stuff. And how do they know it's boring? Well, no comments, no likes, no shares. That's just as simple as that. there's a recent survey that was done on all the most popular content on social media. And this is what came out. 25% of all social shares are for inspiring and educational content. It's 25%. That's 1 out of 4. 17% of what we share is funny. You know, LOL? And 15% is entertaining. So that's more than half is inspiring, funny, and entertaining. That's what we collectively want. So if you want to figure out what should I do, this. Here's what we need to stop as marketers. Collectively, we need to stop this. So this is the first thing. When I have a client that comes to me, I go to their Facebook page and I look at the feed. This is what I see. Post after post after post after post of boring crap. And I noticed something. If you look at the one at the top, there's 1 like on the post. And I was like, who is this? And I found out. I know who it is. You know who it is. It's the marketer. The marketer likes his own shit. No, yoo-hoo-hoo. I mean, like, seriously, this is sad. Don't like your stuff. You got to wait until at least 10 people like it, and then you say, okay, I'll add 1 more. But don't be the first one, please. Right? And that's the rule. I mean, I see this, and they're asking me, what should I do? And I says, not that. Whoever is doing this for you, well, either you train them or you fire them, one or the other. Most brands that I see post stuff and disappear. This is not what Facebook is about. It's not about posting stuff and disappearing. It's about posting stuff and engaging. Don't disappear. That, what we just saw before, is posting and disappearing. Boring content, not even the marketer wants to see it. Liked it once. How nice. So what marketers do is also volume versus engagement. You know, I asked them, well, what's the current agreement that you have with your marketer? And they says, well, they're posting 5 posts a week. You know, that's the deal, or 3 posts a week, or 7 posts a week. And I'm like, really? That's your measure of success, is the number of posts you have on your page? That's just not really what it's about. The other thing that we need to stop is thinking that quantity is really about what Facebook is about. It's not. It's about quality content. I would strongly urge you to, instead of thinking we're going to put 7 posts a week on this page, to think, what is the 1 post we could do that would make a huge difference? That would be a lot smarter. Marketers are more concerned about pushing their content than engaging. That's really what I see collectively with a lot of marketers. You know, I don't know about Romania, but I can tell you there's a lot of that in the United States, and it's just really, it needs to stop that. Marketers need to stop boring stuff. That's basically what we need to stop collectively. Just stop that. Now, here's what we need to start doing, starting tomorrow morning. What we need to do is we need to ask ourselves 3 questions. How many questions? 3. And you need to have a yes on at least one of those questions when you do a post. Okay? Do we have an agreement? All right. The first question is, does it make me smile? When I look at the post, do I smile? The second one is, does it add value? Does it bring me value? Did it teach me something? Did it do something to me? Did it make me cry? You know those posts where you see like the inspiring thing and you cry? None of the guys are going to admit to that, but we do cry too. And then the third one is, does it make me want to participate? Does it make me want to engage? I mean, look at your post. Does it make me smile? Does it make me want to participate? And does it add value? If the answer is no to all 3, delete it. Be authentic, be you. This is what you need to start. I tell a lot of businesses, they're trying to, like, everything is great. Look at me. I'm like, I'm like, really? Like, be authentic. If you have a problem, talk about it. Like, be yourself. Like, you don't have to, everything is like smiley and great. Just, be yourself. Be fun. Show your human side. If there's a new baby in the office, talk about that. If someone's getting married, talk about this. Someone had a loss, talk about this. That's what we want. We want human. We don't want you to be posting like 6 or 7 articles of boring shit you didn't even read. Seriously. That's 2. Okay, no more, Avi. That's it. All right, so there are 3 E's of Facebook marketing that all of us need to be grounded in, which is the marketing strategy for Facebook. So they are engage, educate, and entertain. Engage, educate, and entertain. That's what our job is. Your client may come to you and it says, I need cash, I need the phone to ring. Then maybe you need to say, well, maybe we need to look at Google AdWords, right? We need to look at something else, because what Facebook is about those 3 things, which eventually will make the phone ring. But what we need to be doing is engage, educate, and entertain. And if you hit the spot right in the center where all 3 meet, what you have is a unicorn. You have that piece of content that is absolutely amazing. And I'm going to show you one of them. By the way, don't try to do a unicorn. It's going to happen by accident, and maybe it will happen to one of you. For the vast majority of us, it's not going to happen. It's more by luck that it happened, that all 3 of them converge. So let's talk about engage first. What I mean by engage. The key to Facebook really is engagement. That's really at the core what Facebook is about. It's about you trying to engage people out there. At the core of it, that's really what Facebook marketing is about. And a lot of business owners that I talk to are saying, well, how do I engage? How do I engage people out there? So I'm going to tell you, the first thing you need to look at is that in the questions they ask is your answer. The question they ask out there is your answer. That's how you engage. So let me show you how we do that. Who has heard of AnswerThePublic.com here in the room? Wow, this is awesome. Raise your hand, I can see it. There's hardly any of you. All right, take a note of this. AnswerThePublic.com. When I discovered this website late last year, it completely blew my mind. So AnswerThePublic.com, you go and this is what you see. And what you do is you enter a keyword, one keyword, and then you click on Get Questions, right? You put a keyword. So in that case, I put printing, right? I had printing client. And this is what you get. This is all the what, the how, the why, the when. That's what we collectively ask about that specific keyword. These are our questions. This used to take hours to figure out. We had to dig into Google and figure out what the questions. Now there's one website that gives you all the questions. I mean, that's absolutely staggering. If you look at it closely, you can see this question. I highlighted this question. How printing press was invented? Do you think that if you put that question and you actually create a piece of content around that on Facebook, that people are going to be interested? The answer is yes. That's what we want to know. That's what's interesting. So if you're a printer, we don't want to hear about your machines. We don't want to hear about your special of the week, or we don't want to hear that the papers are going to be collated, stapled, and all this thing. We don't care. That's never in the questions. What we want to know is how printing press was invented. That's what matters to us. That's the question we want to know. The Facebook hack is more comments is the secret sauce. The more comments people are going to put on a post that's the secret sauce. That's your job. Get more comments. Now, the second thing on how you engage people is groups. Now, I would like to see by show of hands, and raise your hand high, who in the room as a marketer has a strategy for every single one of your clients to create a Facebook group for them? Raise your hand. Yeah, just a few of them. This Facebook group is absolutely the bomb. every single one of you in the room should be thinking of how do we create a Facebook group either for ourselves or for our clients, because this is where we create engagement. This is where people are engaged. And Facebook came right out at Social Media Marketing World earlier this year and said, we love groups and we love comments. The longer the comments, the better. But a Facebook group is really this is really the place to go. Is just find a common cause or interest that audience has. So one of the ways to actually do it is go to Answer the Public. Put a keyword, just find out what are the questions. That is the interest. That's what they want to know. Your goal is to get 30 advocates. So people, in my opinion, when they try a group, they just they stop too quick. They try it and they don't see it, the long tail and all the work that there is to do. Just get yourself 30 advocates. Once you have 30 people in your group that is actually engaged on a regular basis, and now what I will call super fans or advocates, then that you have actually achieved a good size group. Because obviously 30 is the people that are going to have a lot of engagement, but this is your job as a marketer. Just get a group with 30 people that are actually super engaged. That will generate, that will bring the masses for you. If you have a group, there are 2 rules you need to have. 2 rules for every group. No self-promotion. The second someone comes and self-promote their product, just say, out. Please stop. You give them 1 warning. The second warning, you move them to the Donald Trump group. Right? No self-promotion. And the second thing is don't be a jerk. Don't allow people to be nasty to one another. If you see a bad comment of someone like being rude to another, please say, please stop. Don't do that. This is the best way to kill a group, is to allow people to promote their own product and allow people to be jerks. So just make sure you say no rule there, and you have to monitor it. There is a company in the United States, and I don't know if you know it here, and I'm pretty much sure you don't have that in Romania, but it's called Winn-Dixie. It's a large supermarket chain, and they did a campaign which I thought was really fascinating. They were looking for moms. It's supermarkets, so a lot of moms actually do the grocery shopping. And they reach out to moms that were actually really engaged on Instagram and Facebook and offer them a $100 credit to put post. So they give them a $100 card to go and buy groceries if they did post about the Winn-Dixie chain. Do you see the moms, like they were like, hell yeah, give me $100? Yeah, you bet sure that I'll put some post. I mean, this is where you could actually be spending $1,000 here and have a whole bunch of people that are posting content that is really great for your group, because they're there, they're engaged. So I thought this was fascinating, and I wanted to share that because I think it's a great idea. It's one way to actually look for influencers. A lot of people look for, influencers and whatnot, which can be rather expensive. But I can tell you, a mom is very influencing. And at $100 a week in grocery money, I can tell you she's going to be posting every day. Be patient. That's the rule. You really have to be patient. And I put Gary's a picture there because what I see in a lot of people that when they're trying to do a group or they're engaged in Facebook, they give up too soon. And I'm like, I just want you to remember one thing, because everybody knows. Everybody, raise your hand if you know Gary Vaynerchuk. Right? We're in Romania, and just about everybody knows him. And he's a legend now, right? I just want you to know that he spent 18 months. That's a year and a half, 18 months, putting 5 videos a week with 0 audience. 18 months, 5 videos a week. Now, be honest with me, who would have abandoned that strategy after 3 months? Yeah, a lot. He did it for 18 months because he believed in it. He said, I know that this is going to work. He was absolutely right, but he did it for 18 months. What we have collectively is a lack of patience. Be patient. And then while we're on the subject of Gary Vaynerchuk, I'm going to talk about vlogs, because what I see a lot of people is like, Gary vlogs like a boss. He grabs his phone and he doesn't grab his phone. He has D-Rock following him, but he'll create a video and it's like, what's up guys? I'm here and I'm here in Romania and having a good time and people are nice and everything. And so you get stuff like this with people just what I call talking heads. By the way, WTF is welcome to Facebook. I was close on that one. Right, because Avi said, if you 3 times, that's it. So you get that. You get people like talking, hey, what's up? And it's like they have 13 people watching it. I'm like, this is sad. And one of the things that just really, that I want people to understand is that the way for you to have, your strategy should be provide value. That's what he did for 18 months, 5 times a week. He provided value. He taught people about wine. Value, value, value. What he did is he earned the right to have a blog. We haven't. It's not time for you to start a vlog. I mean, it's fine if you do, if you could have like 1 video a week where you're doing this, but that shouldn't be the cornerstone of your strategy. Chances are is you haven't earned it yet. You haven't created 5 videos a week for 18 months. Once you do that, then you earn, you create trust, you have an audience, and now they'll be able to listen to you. They'll be willing to listen to you. The amount of trust you earn is proportionate to the value you provide. That's the rule. The more value you provide, the more trust you will have. The more trust you'll have a bigger audience. But it starts with providing value. So this is how it looks at first. You have a lot of value and you have a little bit of trust. But you have to provide a lot of value. You have to start there. And then what happens is, well, then you have audience and a trust, and you can provide less value. By the way, Gary Vaynerchuk still provides an enormous amount of value to a lot of people that watches this stuff. But overall, it's because now he has a huge audience. That's really why why he can do it. All right, let's go about educate now, which is the second of the 3 E's. Educate. Confucius said that if you have a 1-year plan, you plant rice. If you have a 10-year plan, you plant a tree. And if you have 100 years, you educate a child. And all of us here say, yeah, I agree with that. And yet, that's not where we're spending our time. We're not spending our time providing value by educating people, by teaching them what we know. And really, what that should be in a form of videos. Videos is really where we should be spending all our time. In the room here, if you're a marketer and you have a marketing agency, who has a full-time videographer and video editor in your team? Full-time. Yeah, just a few. Within 2 years, every single one of you will have a full-time videographer and a video editor. I would start looking into this right now. By the way, raise your hand if you have one. Raise your hand. Okay, go and talk to them. Make a deal with them. Say, oh, by the way, can we make business? Because you're going to be doing a lot of videos because this is what we want to consume. And videos are producing 1,800% more engagement. 1,800. That's 18 times. 18 times. You get my attention with 2 times. Say, Antoine, if you do this, you double your odds. I'm like, woo, I'm in. 10 times, I'm like, wow. 18 times. You need to start doing videos now. That's what we want to consume. The other thing that we have with people is they hear a video that says, okay, we're going to shoot a commercial. Avi, sorry, nothing, because I know you shot a lot of commercial, but when you go on YouTube and you search for a video and you found the video that you want, and then in the bottom right-hand corner, there's this thing, skip ad. Raise your hand if every single time you click on it, every single time. Look around. That's not for me. I know the answer. Look around. Every single one went up. Why on God's green earth would you shoot a commercial? We don't want to watch commercials. They don't want to watch your commercial. They don't want to watch your commercial. I don't want to watch it. You don't want to watch mine. Don't do commercials. Commercials are a bad idea. That's not what Facebook marketing is about. What you should be doing is how-to videos. How-to videos, anything how-to printing, how does printing press work, how does anything, how does SEO works, how does web design work, how-to, this is what we want. This is what we go on YouTube, and this is what we want to consume. If we have to go to YouTube to consume that content, wouldn't you think that if we're on Facebook, we're going to consume that content too? It works. It really does. Let me introduce you to Chris with Frameworks. If you go in Miami, by the way, and you stay in a hotel or you go on a cruise ship, every single frame, picture frame in the hotel or in your hotel room is framed by Chris with Frameworks. And they were really into actually doing commercials. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to shoot commercial. We're going to do commercial. And nothing worked. They put it on Facebook. Nobody watched it. And I said, let's do a how-to. Really raw. Camera, microphone, nothing fancy, just really raw stuff. And this is what we did.
Chris Sweeney from Frameworks here. Today I'm going to walk you through step by step how to face mount to acrylic. Let's go. So the first step is in our creative department.
I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but you get the thing.
Taking the image,
do you see how raw that is?
And processing it, making sure it's high enough resolution.
So this is what we got. We did that video. We posted it on Facebook. And we got 5,700 people reach and 2,500 unique viewers. Do you know how many people they have on their Facebook page? 300. 18 times! But what's really amazing is 176 engagement. 176 engagement. People liking it, commenting it. That ad resulted in $25,000 order. Do you think they were happy? Yeah, they were very happy. That was it. All they did is and they didn't believe it. This is, why do we want to do that? Our warehouse is dirty, and our staff doesn't have the right uniform, and it's going to take all day, and a whole bunch of reasons. I'm like, trust me, that's what people want to see. They want to see the stuff, how it's done. They are interested in it. There you have it. 176 engagement, $25,000 order. This is a good day. All right. A thing that I just discovered, and I want to talk to you because I think it's a hack and it's just absolutely fascinating, is how much does it cost? One of the things that I was listening to a keynoter, that was Marcus Sheridan, and he was talking about a strategy that he was doing with business owners about you need to have content that talks about how much things cost. And I started to dig into it. And I'm like, let me look at that. What does he mean by that? And when I talk to business owners and I tell them, we need to do things about how much does it cost? How much does printing cost? How much does SEO cost? How much does web design cost? How much does Facebook marketing cost? I get the same three things from people. The first one is, well, I don't want to give away my pricing. Fair. And then the second thing is, well, it depends. It depends on a lot of things. And then the third one is, well, I may lose business because people may look at it, think it's more money than they can afford, so I don't want to do that. Who's familiar with SEMrush here in the room? Raise your hand if you're familiar. Okay, so there's a tool called SEMrush, and I believe that SEMrush is worth its money simply for a feature in it that's called the Keyword Magic Tool. Keyword Magic Tool in SEMrush. And you go in there, you put a keyword, and in that instance, I put hearing aids. We have a lot of old people in Florida, right? They need hearing aids. So I put that keyword, and the keyword magic tool gave me that report. And these are the top 10 questions around hearing aids. 6 of them are about how much it cost. That's what we want to know. And I'm like, So I put, sorry, I skipped on one thing. So I take that question, I take any question, and I says, how much are hearing aids? And then I put it on YouTube. And in YouTube, I'm using a tool that you see in the upper right-hand corner, which is called TubeBuddy. And TubeBuddy is giving me, which is another tool, I believe it costs about $20 a month. It's not that expensive. And what TubeBuddy is telling me the search volume, and it's telling me how competitive is that. And I want you to look at the results in YouTube, and there's hardly, the questions are related, but not exactly answering that. So what it tells me is if SEMrush is telling me that, and YouTube has some content, what is the bet that Facebook will eat this up, if that's what we want to know? So I took that theory and I brought it to a different keyword, plumber. Plumber. 5 are the top 10 questions we ask. These are all the questions. 5 of the top 10 questions is how much it cost. That's what we want to know. And then I took another one so you could actually see it. How to remodel a kitchen. Almost every single question, 8 out of 10, are about the cost. And I was like, wow. That's what we want to know. So your job is to create content for every single one of your clients and say, we need to have a strategy around educating people. How much does it cost? That's what we want to know. Everybody wants to know how much does it cost. So educate them. That's a great way for you to have really fascinating content that people want. I mean, when I saw that, I was like, this is just like, I just really want you to get that, because this is what we want to know, and this is what people are asking. If you want to figure out what type of content I need to create to educate people, tell them how much it costs. And by the way, if it depends, well, tell them it depends. Here is the low end, here is the high end. Somewhere in the middle, but you don't have to reveal your price, you just educate people how much it costs. And people would appreciate that. All right, so the third E is entertain. And who has heard of the Chewbacca mom here in this room? Few of you. Well, the vast majority of you haven't. So about entertaining, watch and see. Oh, it never gets old. I mean, I watched this like 12 times every time I laugh. Oh, here's the thing. This is a unicorn, by the way. You're not going to reproduce that, but I just wanted to get you entertainment, okay? Now, I want you to do that. This was a Facebook Live video. Do you know how many people watched that video with her? 10. 10 people. By the end of the day, she had 1 million views. She went to bed, she was like, oh my God. Like I did something, like she was like, oh my God, she was shocked. She went to bed. She woke up. There's 24 million views. Now there's 140 million views. There's going to be 140 million and 5 more hundred like by the end of the day. 140 million views with a video. Did you see the simplicity of it? The rawness of it? She was human, she was like herself, and she had a good time. You cannot watch this video without laughing. If you have someone that doesn't laugh at anything, show them that. They'll have a good time. She actually made $420,000 out of that video. That's what she actually got. Cole actually went to her house and brought her all kinds of toys and brought her to the store and gave a Chewbacca mask to everybody in their street. I mean, it was just really crazy. But that's really the result of what she got. Now, this is a unicorn. Now, we all know, I mean, it would be great if we could all have that for our brand or for ourselves, like we'd be famous. But the chances of us reproducing this is very unlikely. So let me show you another one. And this is a guy in the real estate, real estate video. I'm not going to show you the whole video, but I want you to get a sense. I want you to look at the rawness of it, like how the production and what he has done, okay?
You like luxury? I get it. I like luxury too. You know how you can tell I like luxury? I just drove up in a Porsche. You know how else you can tell? I pronounce it Porsche. Keep it running. So for people like you and me, this house is the kind of luxury that we've been looking for. This is 6663 Silver Creek Drive in Indianapolis.
I want that house.
This house has everything. Teak hardwood floors, coffered ceiling, chef's kitchen, and a partridge in a pear tree. So at the end of a long day, you can knock back a cold one in this kitchen. Or this kitchen. Or at the end of this table. Or by this fireplace. Or in this tasting room.
All right, I'm going to stop here. Now, who wants to buy this house, by the way? Yeah, it's actually $1.2 million, okay? So you need to make a few Facebook posts and whatnot, and then it's yours. So, but what I want you to get with this video, and there's a couple of things that I think is fascinating. First of all, it got 98 likes, so it's more in a scale of, you know, what a business could anticipate for a post. He ended up selling the house with this video. Someone saw it, and, you know, obviously because what happened is it went viral. But the production is very, it's not a big production. It's him talking and a guy following him with a car. Now, they thought about it. They probably rented the Porsche. I don't know if he owns that Porsche, but you could rent a Porsche or you can rent a nice car. But I think the production was very simple. There's nothing really super complicated about it. And even though it is a commercial to sell something, there's something that he did with it that's very creative and fun, that has you look at it. I'm going to tell you the vast majority of it real estate stuff that I get to see is just like, it's just boring. They're just announcing, here, there's another house. And like, you know, it's just not interesting. This was fun. So he got 98 likes, 48 comments, and 49 shares. How he actually sold that house is through a share, because someone saw the video, thought it was really funny, shared it, and then the person that actually was in the market with $1.2 million contacted him and bought the house. You know, that's how, you know, the Chewbacca mom is not within scale. This, every single one of us can do that. Every single one should be able, you could actually shoot that video with your iPhone or your Droid, whatever you have. It ended up with 6,600 views. Organic. That's organic. That's pretty staggering. All right. Another case study is Eric's Outboard in Miami. And Eric's Outboard sells boat parts for outboard engines. People have boats and they have parts and everything. And when we went and talked to them, we asked them, okay, so tell me about your business. What is special about your business? Because this was their advertising. This is literally one of the picture posts on their Facebook page, right? And they said, well, what's really great about us is we have 120,000 items in stock. And then we have genuine parts. And it's all certified. Really? So here's what we did. We actually showed people fishing. Like, that's it. That was a quick video, guys fishing. That was it. Guys were out there fishing, and that's what they wanted to see. That methodology resulted in 33% increase in sales in 1 year. Who would take 33% increase in sales? Raise your hand. Everybody should have their hands. And that's pretty good, right? 33%. So that was the method, is instead of talking to them about the products and features and benefits that nobody cares about, we just show guys fishing. That's what appeals to us. That's actually a lot more entertaining than learning about all this boring stuff that they had. I mean, that they have 120,000 parts on stock is like fascinating for the guy that manages the part. For me, it doesn't matter. What I really want is I want to go out fishing with my buddies, right? And so if you show me a picture of that and it says, oh, by the way, I got to make sure that the boat is in working orders. So let's talk about your 2019 strategies, because we're almost there. So this is what your 2019 marketing strategy needs to be about. The first thing that you need to know is that $80 billion, that's with a B, $80 billion right now is spent on commercials. All the big brands, Office Depot, Unilever, you name them, all the big brands, they're spending $80 billion in commercials, which you and I don't watch. I ask you, do you skip on every single commercial? You do. And in the US, we have the DVR where you can record your shows, and we systematically skip on the commercial. So they're spending $80 billion on stupid stuff that nobody cares about. And they're going to figure out one point or another, they're going to start respecting Facebook. And the second they do, it's going to change the game for all of us. Because right now, Facebook is cheap. It's really, really cheap. It's probably the cheapest tool that you can use to engage, educate people out there. It's just really cheap. You can basically spend in the United States about $8 to $9 on 1,000 views. That's about roughly what you get. Some it's $5, some it's a little bit more than that, but approximately 8 to 9. But I'm going to tell you something that very soon is going to be $30 to $40 per 1,000 views. And I wouldn't be surprised that if it went up for very competitive keyword and being in the 100 to 200. I can tell you right now that 5 years from now, you'll be talking to people, young kids coming into your marketing agency, and you're going to tell them, we used to be able to spend $8 for 1,000 views. And they'll be like, what? Yeah, that's basically what it costs you right now. But the second they stop spending that stupid money on commercial, because right now they're still spending $80 billion. They're going to come and spend that money on Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and LinkedIn. And the second they do that, it's not going to be $8 and $9. It's going to be more like $100 to $200 per 1,000 views. So do it now. Like, get on the bandwagon now. Take advantage of it now. Every single one of us should be spending $50 to $100 a week on ads. That's really, like, I talk to every business owner. If you're not spending $50 to $100 a week on ads on Facebook, you're missing the biggest opportunity. And it's not going to last forever, because right now with $50 to $100, you can have several thousand people seeing your stuff. And that's really something you need to take advantage, like right now. You need to go back to your office and say, we need to start spending money. You know, get some educational content, some entertaining content, put it out there, put it for $50, and you'll doing great. Be patient. The lack of patience is palpable out there. The too many people want results. I go to clients and I say, they say, well, we want to grow. We want to, we really want to take advantage of that Facebook marketing, and I need the phone to ring. And I'm like, that's the wrong approach. Facebook is about being patient. It's about creating an audience, and that doesn't happen overnight. So be patient. Remember, Facebook marketing is about patience. Social messaging app, that's something I want all you to think about. That social messaging apps are on track to own 75% of the messaging world. 75%. If I actually call my daughter, she's 17 years old, right? If I call her, she's annoyed. I'm like, it's a phone. It's a phone. That's what it's for. It's like, hello? She's like, well, text me. That's what it's coming. And I think we're going to be all using messaging app on Messenger and instant message me on Instagram. And I have people instant messaging me on YouTube now. It's just really, this is what it's about. So I want you to pay attention to it. And I think that what we're going to see is that Messenger is going to be the new customer service. This is what people are going to go. They're going to go to a Facebook page of a company, and they're going to expect someone to talk to them right now. KLM, which is a huge airline in Northern Europe, in Holland, I believe they're out of, they have a full-time crew of 40 people on messaging. Yeah, because if you have a problem with your ticket, you want help now. Not in an hour, not in 3 hours, you want help now. So if you go on KLM and you say, I'm in Bucharest or I'm in Paris and I'm stuck, someone answer right there. And they actually, I believe they have like 30 languages. That's why they have 40 people. So they'll speak in any language. That's something that you want to look at the big companies. They had 40 people, 30 languages. They're around the clock. That's what we're going to be doing at all levels. The quality of the creative is the X factor. I think I see too many marketers out there that are just putting stuff and whatnot, and I'm going to tell you the quality of the creative is really what makes a difference. And there's this chart that I show to everybody that engages us for creative, and I says you can pick 2. You can only have 2, not 3, because 3 is not possible. So it can be good and fast or good and cheap, but it cannot be good, fast, and cheap. That doesn't exist. It just doesn't, you know? So remember that, just make sure that your creative is great. The time to get started with Facebook is right now. Like, get going right now. Because it's not going to last forever. It's not going to be cheap forever. It's not going to be accessible the way it is forever. And if you don't, this is what you're going to see. You're going to be left behind, and you're going to be missing one of the biggest opportunity there is in marketing, which is take advantage of Facebook marketing. Facebook is predicting that by 2020, all the content on their platform is going to be mobile and videos. All of it by 2020, which is basically less than 2 years away. It's just basically a year and some out away. So it's right there. This is going to be all mobile, all video. So your content needs to be viewable on this, and they're going to be watching videos. That's what we want. Cisco is predicting that by 2019, 80% of all consumer traffic is going to be videos. 80% of all consumer traffic. Like, remember I was telling you, you will have a full-time videographer and a full-time video editor in your agency? Yeah. If you don't have it now, it's going to be next year. If you don't do it next year, it's going to be right after that. But you will all have a videographer and a video editor. And by the way, right now, you can still find people that are fairly affordable. But it's not going to be the truth forever. It's just wide open right now. In my opinion, there's not enough marketers that is creating engaging, educational, entertaining content. It's just not. And people are not taking enough advantage of Facebook marketing. They really are not. And when they're doing it, they're not doing it right. So in my opinion, it's just really, really wide open. And just basically remember, what you have to figure out is, what do they want? Figure out what is their basket of oranges out there. And that is going to be your winning strategy with Facebook. My name is Antoine Dupont. You guys have been great. Thank you.